Just imagine a trip to a wonderful land of candy and jam and ice cream.
I gotta hit that string, you better watch it. With a cat that attack with a full clip. I got the whip, got the pitch that I keep it undercover. All up in the cup, just to live it up. See the stone cold face, try to knock it. I keep it tight, never walk, I'm a rocket. I got a beat in it, I got a rip in it. I got a beat, got a beat, got a beat,
In 1997, a memorial to the families who shaped Basin City was erected next to the library. Part of the memorial is actually a time capsule that will be opened in 2047, so there's still a few years to go before that happens. I'll probably be really old by then. For many of the families still living in Basin City, they can find the names of their parents or their grandparents or maybe even great-grandparents on the monument. My grandparents' names are right here, Morris and Tessie McCall. Many people who come to the library have been coming for years. For some, it's been since the library was built, and for others, they've been coming for their whole life. So most Basin Cityites couldn't imagine their lives without this small library. I know I couldn't. And for that reason, I wanted to interview as many people that would be willing to answer a question for me as I could. What do you like about this library?
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is Shirley. She's so helpful. And I love having it close to my home where I have access to everything that a library has to offer. Books, magazines, videos, books on tape. The online stuff is amazing, being able to request something, comes to my library and my name. That's what comes to mind.
I like that it has so many books and that you have a lot to choose from. And that there's different kinds of books and different series. And I especially like the ones that are long and that have a lot of chapters. That's why I like this library, and I also like it because when I come here, there's a lot of books, a lot of new books to choose from.
Library is how it has influenced my children. One of my little boys was about 2 when we started coming regularly to story time, and he was really busy and didn't often sit at all for story time. But we would come anyway, and he would play, and Miss Shirley would read, and it was just awesome because he was exposed to new things. But what I didn't realize was he was actually learning and paying attention more than I realized. Later, one of the story times particularly was about owls, and as we a couple weeks after that, Mitchell, just one second. Here, you can sit right here with me. As we were at home, he started talking about owls, and he told me a little bit about them and what they said and what color they were, and I was so impressed. And I had no idea where he knew anything about the owls. And then I remembered that we had gone to story time about a week or so before, and he had he had observed the information, even though he wasn't sitting and listening, and I was really touched by how books and reading can really teach and uplift children.
Library.
It has books in it. Is it fun? Is it fun? Do you do fun? Do you like story time? How often do you come to story time? Twice? Which day do you come on to story time? Every Wednesday, huh? It's fun, huh? It's nice because it's close and it's got a lot of materials, and you can order other materials from other places and things like that. And Brenda likes the cookbooks. She gets a cookbook almost every week. Yep, there's a cookbook, huh? It's good, huh? Quinoa.
But the customers are not the only ones that appreciate the library. In fact, those that work there would probably appreciate it as much, if not more, than the customers. So, of course, I had to interview them as well. How has being involved in this small library improved you and your family's life?
It's improved my family's life in immeasurable ways. The library, once again, for story time and stuff, it is the first opportunity my kids to have to develop that love of reading. But most importantly, I have a daughter that's special needs. My oldest daughter, she'll be a senior this year and graduating high school, and the people, therapists and everybody said that she would never progress past a third grade level, and she's gone well beyond that. And I truly believe that her first opportunity to come to the library and to check out books here and be given that responsibility and that the ability to check out audiobooks for her was hugely helped her in her academic learning. We moved here when she just went into kindergarten, and people didn't think that she would ever be able to progress, and she has, and she loves reading. And I think that a lot of that has to do with the small, intimate nature of this library. A bigger library would have been way overwhelming for her, and she would not have felt cared about. This is someplace that she can come, and even now, to this day, she can drive down here on her own, and she knows Shirley, and Shirley knows her. And even at some point when Shirley retires, there'll be somebody else here that has that knowledge, because it's so intimate here, that will be able to help her and continue her love of books and her love of mysteries. She loves mysteries, and I'm so thankful that we have such an opportunity. I truly believe that we have been blessed to live in this small area, because I do not think that she would have had the opportunities or the progression that other bigger libraries may have been easily overlooked or seen as not as important or as not as needed.
And this small library improved you and your family's lives.
Wow, this library has improved my family's life immensely. This kind of started when I was very young, and even my siblings when they were young, and my mom would take us to story time when we were preschoolers, and that was super fun. I remember coming and listening to the stories, listening to Miss Shirley read them, and that was so much fun, and getting to check out DVDs and books and stuff, and I really enjoyed that. And then my older sister started working here as a page, and that was fun. We could request books online, and she'd bring them home to us, and it was just like this super awesome delivery system that brought lots of really fun treasures. And then my sister started working for another small library connected to this one, and eventually I started as the page here, and got to fulfill that same I don't know, same position, and it's been really fun to just to get to know people as I've come in and out of the library, and it's I lost my train of thought. And yeah, it's definitely kind of a family affair, and starting with us as we're kids, and my sister and my other sister even worked for the library for a time, and we always joked that my brother would work here eventually, and so yeah, it's improved our lives a lot just by everything it offers, and even as a place to work, and it's I'm just really am thankful for the library.
involved in this small library improved you and your family's lives?
Well, I already mentioned that it brought me closer to the community, so that's a wonderful way. It also, I homeschooled my daughter, and I had access to all kinds of information that was helpful for doing that homeschooling. I could also bring her with me to work if I couldn't find a babysitter when she was little, and it was okay, and she loved it. Also, it's just been fun to get to know the people. I'll go to the school to talk to the kids about Summer Reading Challenge, and when they see me, they go, "You're the library!" And that just makes me feel special. Another fun thing, if I happen to be at a store in the Tri-Cities, they'll see me and say hi, and then they say, "Do you know where the laundry soap is?" or something like that, because they're used to coming to me for information, and it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm doing something to help the community, even if I see them in the Tri-Cities. It's really wonderful, but it's just been a blessing to our lives, our whole family.
So there you have it, right from the source. There's so much about this library that benefits this community. From the books to the magazines, the databases, the socialization, the job opportunities, and not to mention the homework options. When I lose my internet connection or the power goes out at home, I go to the library because it's closer than school. And for those who don't have any internet at home, when they need to access the internet, the library is always there, Tuesday through Saturday, to help them out. And Storytime and the summer programs for children are some of the other ways that the library benefits the community. The children learn so much without even having to realize that they're not just having fun.
3 little ducks went out one day over the hills and far away. Mother duck said quack, 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 but only 2 little ducks came back. 2 little ducks went out one day over the hills and far away. Mother duck said quack, 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 but only 1 little duck came back. 1 little duck went out one day over the hills and far away. Mother duck said quack, 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 but none of the 5 little ducks came back. And Mother duck went out one day over the hills and far away. Mother duck said quack, 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 and all of the 5 little ducks came back.
So come back next week if you're still in the area for the visit.